What's up, everybody? Mike here, and welcome to my Chaos Frost Monk level 25 early game build here. And I'm going to be going over the different skill gems you want to get and use for the build early on. And the gear is not super important, but I'll touch on that as well too here. So let's actually go into the gear just because it's the least important thing right now. As you can see here, Monk uses the quarterstaff primarily, so I got this particular quarterstaff, Journeyman's crackling quarterstaff of osmosis, and I even add in a rune here to increase physical damage. Also, another 23% increased physical damage, 45%, sorry, plus 45 the accuracy rating, and gave 5 mana per enemy killed. Does a good 13 to 54 lightning damage as well too. This is a good weapon. You don't necessarily need this exact type of quarterstaff. You can work with something either similar or even better if you like. This is a magic as well. It's not a rare yellow, so that's another thing to note here too. Quite a bit of my other gear though is yellow rare. Basically with Monk, you're not going to focus on like armor, at least early on from what I've been testing out and seeing. It's going to be, since he's a mobile type of character, you got to stay mobile with him, big mobility, similar to the Ranger, where Ranger is very mobile as well too. You want to more so focus on like having good accuracy, having really good evasion, and having good shield. And I would say life regen, not necessarily, you know, getting life from enemy kills. At least that's what I'm not going for personally. When it comes to like how you get life back in this game, outside of using a flask, I do not care too much about getting life after every kill, because for example in boss fights, not every boss is kind of like, you know, ads available for you to essentially attack and things like that, to replenish your flask and things like that. So I just don't want to rely on that. I feel like it's going to be a bit unreliant in those particular boss fight situations. So I'd rather get life back from just having a certain percentage of life regen on my gear, or recouping life from taking damage, like a certain percentage from that, or even just like life siphon ability type stuff. So like basically like blood mage for the witch. Anyway, don't focus too hard on equipment early game. I mean, if you can get some good, you know, yellow rare gear here, like I said, to focus on evasion, some resistances is what help you out, and decrease your dexterity and your intelligence, things like that, and maximum life. Cool, go for it. You know, as you can see here, I got a fair amount of yellow, so I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was able to get like about a good 5 yellows altogether for my gear that have different bonuses, things like that. Help me out. Like I said, most focus on evasion, just because you're gonna need that evasion up. This is gonna change as well too. I'm gonna get more gear specific when I get level up more. I would say probably like level 65 when I do a late game build. So just keep in mind about that. I'll try to be more gear specific when it comes to level 65. I also have a mid game level build of level 45. Gear will still be not as super important probably by then, depending how the devs adjust the drops in gear, you know, in the near future. What's mostly specific and more important is going to be your passive skill tree, which you go into, and the skill gems using. So as you can see here with the core staff, we manage sockets here. So I got the martial tempo on here. Support attacks, causing them to attack faster, basically adding more attack speed with the regular attacks, which is very important. Your bread and butter ranged attack though is going to be Essence Drain. This is a chaos damage type of skill. Fires projectile that applies powerful chaos damage over time. Basically, I love dot damage in almost any game, so this does chaos dot damage, and this is going to be more stronger than your other one you'll pick up early on first, which is Contagion. You'll get Contagion first. You'll do want to get this first. It'd be like level 1, level 2, something like that. And afflict single enemy with debuff that deals chaos damage over time. If enemy dies while afflicted by a contagion, it and all other chaos damage over time debuff spread to nearby enemies and refresh their durations, reanimating or detonating a corpse affected by contagion will cause the minion or explosion to spread contagion on hit. So this is ability from the witch I got to add in here, because the reason being is the Ascendancy I went into, I'll talk about in a bit here later. But yeah, I'm focusing on a chaos damage dealing monk, but also that does frost like ice damage as well too. And so you'll first get Contagion, but you want to eventually get Essence Drain, and that be your main one. And then the Contagion you still use, but like more as like a backup in a sense. or in combination with Essence Drain. And then as far as a main other like close range melee attack, I got Ice Strike. Now this is a slower type melee attack, I think, than the regular, but it's very strong. Performing fast icy strike using this attack 3 times in quick session causes a final strike that is a slower and more powerful. Sorry, the third attack, final attack, is slower, but the rest is very good. So I had the Crescendo support gem on here. I'm still figuring out what I'm gonna put on Ice Strike next for a support gem. But final strike of supported skills can't be performed twice in succession. This is very good for the final hit. Even though it's slow, it will still hit twice and do good damage. Now, the alternative you can go to if you want to be a little bit more faster in terms of like a melee attack is going to be Tempest Flurry. Even though I'm trying to just be like Frost and Chaos focused damage, because you can't just focus on like one elemental or one source of damage type. In this game, what I noticed, you have to have at least a few different types, whether it's like bleed damage plus an elemental type or stun, etc. So Tempest Flurry is a more quicker one, performing a series of aggressive strikes when used in quick succession. The third use strikes 3 times, and the fourth use performs a final strike that calls down a powerful shocking bolt, which is very good, very good. Converts 6% physical damage to lightning damage, plus 4 to melee strike range. And then there's a support gem, Conduction, that goes really well with this. Supported skills have 100% more chance of shock, so that really works well with that. You can also put the Crescendo support gem with Tempest Flurry as well. Something that's going to be key for, I think, every, or if not almost every monk build in the game that I make, at least, maybe not for other people that just decide to make them, is Tempest Bell. This is such a great skill for monk in dealing with mobs and being a boss killer, as well as building up stun on bosses stun meter, as well as elites, well, rare monsters type of stun meter. So this requires 4 combo to use. Lose combo if you generate no combo for 8 seconds. Limit 1 bell. Bell duration is 6 seconds. Bell is destroyed after 12 hits. Keep that in mind. But this does some, if you build this up right, you can do some good AoE damage with this. Got magnified effect, support gem, support skills have 40% more AoE. And then I got Expanse, support skills have 50% more AoE. Support skills have plus 6 seconds to cool down, but that's fine. As long as that wider AoE is going to be better for you. And you just hit the bell after you summon it to do good AoE and just wreck mobs and bosses with it. And then what I decided to add on here as well is another ice move, Frozen Locust. Is basically like a trap ice move. 12 to 18 base cold damage, 30% to critical hit chance, 50% more freeze, build up explosion radius 2 meters. The support gems I got here is Glacian. Supported skills cost 50% more freeze buildup. And then support skills have 50% increased freeze duration on enemies. This is a deep freeze support gem, so definitely want to get this on here as soon as possible. And then the other ice move that you'll end up getting actually before probably Frozen Locust, if you decide to go that route, is Glacial Cascade. Very good. It does basically like a line of ice and damage to me. It's like a nice, good, like sort of spacing attack. Not exactly range, or I guess it kind of somewhat of it's like a ground range move in a sense. Converts 6% physical damage to cold damage. Burst radius is 0.5 meters. Wavelength is 4.8 meters, cause 8 bursts. So basically sweep your core staff upwards, release an icy fissure, which deals damage in a series of bursts, culminating in a large spike. Those enemies hit by the final spike are dealt heavy damage, but the freeze is consumed. So keep that in mind. These support gems I got with this one is Cold Infusion. Support attack, supported attacks gain 25% of damage as extra damage. Cold damage, that is. Support attacks deal 50% less fire and lightning damage. That's not super important, though, with this build, because you're not really trying to focus on fire or lightning anyway. Then I have Concentrate Effect. Support skills deal 40% more area AoE. Well, area damage. And support skills have 50% less AoE overall. So less AoE in terms of like the area they cover, but you do more damage on a more focused, concentrated area. And I already talked about Contagion. I have no support gems for that as of right now. Contagion I might not even keep in the long run, to be honest with you, just because it's like the first, projectile chaos a skill, and Essence Drain is just much better, does more damage overall if you build it up right. And then as far as a buff that I was able to get, is Withering Presence to add on to the theme of the build right now with the chaos damage. So Withering Presence, while active, periodically withers enemies in your presence. Withered duration is 4 seconds. Withers enemies in your presence every 2.7 seconds. The support gems I got on here is Precision, 30% increase accuracy rating while any support skill is active, so it's going to help with your accuracy. And then Clarity, 30% increased mana regeneration while a support skill is active. You're going to need mana regen. Mana regen in this game is super important, guys. And then these last two skills, which are lightning focused, which I only keep on here for now just because they were early skills I got early on because I kind of had to. There's nothing else. Killing Palm, basically this is a attack you can kind of teleport the enemies to when they're like below a certain point of health. I believe it's like 30% for regular enemies, and then like 20% for the next tier, and then I think 15 or 10 for the next tier. And I think for bosses it's like 5%. So yeah, I think rare monsters, which are elites, is basically like 10%, but you get the idea. And the support gems I have for this, well, actually, let me go into it back here. So 20 to 30 added attack physical damage, calling strike, can't be evaded, 10% to critical hit chance. So it's very useful, don't get me wrong, and it builds up charges that combo with falling thunder, which I'll get into details a bit here. And when it comes to the support gems, I got life drain. Supports any skill that hits enemies, causing you to recover life when it holds an enemy. Like I said, not super into that, but I'm gonna eventually get rid of this anyway. Just for now, I keep it just in case. Recovers 12% of life over 4 seconds when support skills call an enemy. And then I have Profusion as the second support gem on this. Support skills that can generate charges, giving them a chance to generate an additional charge when they do so. Support skills have 50% chance to grant additional charge. The charges are important because they combo with Falling Thunder. Infuse your core staff with electrical energies, and then slam the ground to deal damage in large cone in front of you. So basically kind of like a sort of frontal AoE in a sense, or cone. Consume your power charges to fire lightning projectiles from the impact. For 60% damage to lightning damage. Cone length is 4 meters, so really good here. And then the support gem I got is Innervate. Attacks gain 35% of damage as lightning damage for 3 seconds on killing a shocked enemy with support skills. So very good there. But like I said, this is going to be mostly chaos focused with ice mixed in there as well too. As a build up, this is still going to be changing, guys, and evolving, but you will slap with this build. You should be able to do just fine for the most part. Now, it also depends on your passives. Let's go into passives. So, and you'll see here I got my Ascendancy class already as well too. I'll go into that in a bit. So starting off, I decided to go back and forth between basically attack and defense stuff. That's what you can do if you want. If you want to focus more on defense, you can here. And get your mana regen up, get your shield up, get your evasion rating up, things like that. If you want to focus more on defense up to the point of step like miss, like maybe focus on defense first up to step like miss and then go into your attack. To increase your skill speed and attack damage up to flow like water if you like, and also get your crit up as well. And then I decided to go to the left here a bit, get some extra dexterity. Also, no, never mind. Sorry. And then I went up here, got more intelligence, and I decided to get a percentage of damage taken, recouped his life with infused flesh as well, add to your maximum life. And essentially got with these life recoups combined with infused flesh, I got 14% that's coming back to me as life from damage I take. And that's good for now. That'll help with survivability because you know you need it. You're going to need it. This game is difficult. It is difficult. And then I even went into evasion and energy shield up here, and then mindful awareness as well to add more to evasion and energy shield. Because like I said, with Monk, to me, from what I'm seeing here, you got dex and intelligence you're focused on as far as your attributes, but it helps the survivability with defense. So I also decided to go into energy shield delay to recharge energy shield a bit faster. I may even go to mystic stance as well further on to get the energy shield to recharge faster so it keeps up, and to help with stun threshold while on full life. And then as far as damage goes, I was originally trying to do crit. I was testing this out. I went into crit, but didn't think I was working as much or as needed. So I focused more on ice for now. 50% increase freeze up build. So Essence of the Mountain as well, which actually adds damage to pretty much all your abilities that you have or skill gems, and then more freeze build up. So for now, this is what I got going on. as far as the passive skill tree. And then you may or may not have the Ascendancy class unlocked by this level, but if you do, I went in here and decided to get Mana Leech. Now, I probably made a mistake of doing this first. I probably should wait on the Mana Leech one, because I did go into chaos damage, and I really need to do more chaos damage. So honestly, if you want, because once you get your Ascendancy class, Acolyte of Cholula, you have 2 Ascendancy points you can put into this tree. I would suggest the chaos damage. Like, get the chaos damage up first if you're trying to do more damage overall with your chaos abilities. That way they're more impactful. And that way, because you already got your freeze abilities like increased or build up and all that stuff like that there. So you got to get your chaos as well built in here. And there's not much as far as like chaos damage buffs on this tree that's close by. Like, you got over here for increased damage, and then I'm eventually have to go all the way up here to get even more chaos. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I'll have to go up here to even get more freaking chaos damage. That's the route I'm about to eventually find a way up there to do. But that's where my path skill tree is at right now, guys, with this build. This is still a build in the works, figuring things out. But let me know your thoughts on this, guys, and what you've seen from the gameplay here and how it's, working as far as the gameplay I've got shown here or throughout the video. And do you like this style of build video? Let me know. I can always switch it up. And if you don't want to see my face on here, just only hear my voice and show the gameplay and things like that, and the actual game itself, then let me know in the comments below. But yeah, definitely check this out, guys. See if this works for you. I hope you enjoy this. If you did, hit the like, subscribe for new, comment below your thoughts on this, and let me know how you think this could be better from what you've been testing out too, or what kind of monk builder are you going for, or builds you're going for. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Don't forget to check out links in the description if you want to join Discord or go above and beyond with support with YouTube memberships and more. Check that out in the links in the description, guys. My name's Mike. I'll see you next time.